It's better.
It looks
I'll
better.
I'll say it for you.
looks
It's better.
more modern and
Boom, right there, baby.
the power.
Hey guys, I'm Juliana, your automotive woman. That's my friend Bernard and the 2024 Lotus Emira First Edition. Let's go for a drive. So Bernard, it's been a minute since you were on the channel. The last time it was with the Lamborghini Urus, amazing. But now it's also been a minute since I was behind the wheel of a Lotus. The last time it was with the Evora GT. What's the difference between this Emira First Edition and the Evora, which now, correct me if I'm wrong, is actually been discontinued?
Yeah, since the last year of the Evora was the Evora GT, and it was 2021.
Okay, so it's been a minute too. Okay, so biggest differences with this new First Edition.
Well, the biggest difference is the technology for the driver, for the two screen, major screen, one 12 inches, one 10 inches, with the Apple CarPlay and all that. The design, of course, is I won't say better, but
It's better.
it looks
I'll
better.
say it for you.
looks
It's better.
more modern and
Boom, right there, baby.
the power is about the same because they
Okay.
run with the same engine until we get the 4-cylinder AMG Mercedes engine. Will be next year.
Okay, so that said, this is actually a Toyota sourced 3.5 liter
3.5.
V6 supercharged,
Stock engines, supercharged.
right? Horsepower and torque.
Yeah, for
Right there, baby.
317.
So 400
torque.
horsepower, 317, amazing, right? So much fun. I love this vehicle. I always love driving a Lotus because it feels like it has the same power to weight ratio as like a 125cc shifter car, which I
Yeah.
grew up racing. And it's amazing.
It has his own character, you
Oh.
know, like I never drove a car with the same feeling, you know, like the connection with the steering wheel, the soft suspension, which is amazing
Yeah.
compared to the performance that's coming out of it.
So Bernard, everybody's always obsessed with horsepower and torque whenever it comes to sports cars, myself included, but of course, definitely that handling. But all that aside, the new Emira has more aerodynamic. So tell me about it.
That's right. Coming from the Evija,
Evija.
which is the 2,000 horsepower electric
Yeah.
Lotus. That's worth $3 million, by the way.
Jesus.
You got some aerodynamic, unique aerodynamic, like the flow of air will come here and there, will go through the radiator and exit here. So that's add on some downforce.
Lots of downforce. Nice splitter too.
Yeah, and it makes the design at the same time unique.
Yeah. Let's just check out these fat brake rotors.
Yeah.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
You also got that air intake here, which also got an exit point here. And you have some airflow that goes through here. I'm touching the tire right now, so it's
Really?
open.
Let's see that. Let me see your hand. Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
And of course, you got a big diffuser in the back, you know, to bring the air from under the car out.
Yeah.
And
obviously you don't have an active wing because you have the air coming through here
yeah,
acting as a downforce.
you have a natural one in the design. Eventually, I'm sure that they're going to come up with a GT4 or
Okay.
a R version,
Yeah.
maybe with a bigger wing and more aggressive downforce in the front.
Yeah.
But for now, that's what we have.
Cool. What I like is the fact that the key fob, right? You can open up the trunk. And what's great about this, I can totally fit my track day gear. You for
That's
the
it.
golf? You like the golf?
Yeah, you can do both.
No, man. Racetrack. That's where it's at. Racetrack. That's awesome. This first edition, does it have the sports suspension automatically, or is that like an
no,
upgrade?
well, for the first edition, it's a no-cost option.
Okay.
Client has the choice of soft touring suspension
Okay.
or the sport suspension,
Cool.
which you call the sport chassis or touring chassis.
Okay.
And with the sport chassis, you have the choice of tires. You can either keep the Goodyear or go a little more extreme with the Michelin Cup.
Okay. And the Michelin Cup, though, would very much be track related. Like, I'm so familiar with the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup tires.
They're more high performance
Yeah.
tires, so they weren't faster, but they grip better.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah, definitely grip better. Totally recommend them for track days.
Yeah.
So when you mentioned we were talking about sports suspension. Regardless if you go with the base model or go with the first edition, is it always going to be the same driving modes?
In terms of the
Like drive mode selector, is it always the same?
drive mode, you have three drive mode. You have the touring, sport, and track.
Okay.
Which eliminate the traction control, basically. You know? And,
with race mode, it eliminates traction control and stability control with race mode.
Well, the track mode is like a race mode, basically.
You were mentioning the other engine as well. So the other 4-cylinder turbo isn't available yet.
No.
But also, if I recall, we did an article about this vehicle on AutomotiveWoman.com. It's like a difference of like 40 horsepower more in the first edition with the supercharge. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right. It's got 360 horse, and this one's got like 400. So basically, if you look at the 0-60, you're in the same ball game. You know, there's just a couple point difference between the two. You know.
Yeah.
But the 4-cylinder AMG will be coming with a dual clutch transmission, which is more up to date, you know, and the tendency of today. But the old school stick shift, like the V6, that it's the only powertrain available with the 5-speed transmission, 6-speed, I should say.
Yeah. But real drivers drive manual, right?
Yeah, well, I would say 90% of the deposit that I got were for the V6 manual.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, it's so much fun. But one thing I did notice when I'm downshifting, there's no automatic blip to downshift. You have to do it yourself if you want to do it.
It's really old school.
Yeah. But that's nice, though. I like the old school feel.
Well, that's the last chance to get one.
Oh, yeah. Well said, because Lotus is going all EV, right?
Yeah, all EV, and the other already throw the towel on that, you know, like...
Yeah, so that's right. This is the last ICE edition, essentially.
That's it.
Right? And it sounds so good. It's so amazing. I love the nimble feeling of it. I love how low you sit. The digital screens are much different. Like the interior also looks a lot different than the Evora GT.
No comparison.
Right? Yeah, definitely no comparison. Like I think I even have cup holders in this one now, and there was like no cup holders before. It's been a minute, right? It's been a minute since I drove that. Other things that I can say that I think are super cool, because we were walking around it previously, but I like how you can see the gear shifter mechanism underneath. That's cool.
That's it.
But also how you can see the throttle.
Yeah.
This is awesome. This is pure Lotus, right? Oh, how much?
$129,900 for the first edition, which is a fully loaded version, where you had only two options that you had to pay for, which is the black pack, which is the black roof and black exhaust tip and black little side window, and the Alcantara steering wheel, which is the other option, basically.
Which I also noticed the first time. This is the first time that adaptive cruise control is an option for Lotus. Is that correct?
No,
really?
Everything else is on the first edition is included.
Okay, with the adaptive cruise control, but it's actually a first for Lotus, right? Yeah. Like I remember even the Evora, and you said it previously, like it's kind of mainstream.
Had a standard
cruise control.
Cruise control.
Yeah. But also, I like the fact that now you have the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and you spoke about that previously, but all those mainstream features that people like, but I like a sunroof. So Is that an option or not
no,
now?
and it will not be.
Okay. Well, that sucks.
There's
That's
no
it.
plan to
I can't buy
make
it.
an open roof. You're lost.
I'm lost. It's not for me. That's like one feature. I drive a lot, so like adaptive cruise control is like a must now. I mean, overall, great feeling. I like the fact that you can definitely feel the whole road, right? This
Yeah.
is a lot of fun. You know, obviously it's bad noise cabin quality. I'm like, no kidding. It's a sports car. This is awesome. I'm not even gonna ask about the audio sound system because I'm like, who cares? Like, listen to that.
Well, the audio is good. It's got what's going to be an option on the base
Okay.
car, which is about to be released.
Okay.
It's a Care. It's a British company. It's a high-end, as good
Cool.
as Bell and Olufsen and stuff
Okay.
like that. You know.
Not for me though. I'd rather listen to
Well,
the exhaust.
There's some time if you got 12 hours road to do, you know, that you want to listen some nice music. You
Yeah, no, listen to my podcast, Cars Without Sausage, right? How about that name?
know?
But that's awesome. But listen, Bernard, if people want to find you and more information about the Lotus, I know it's Lotus Montreal. What's the website?
It's lotusmontreal.com.
Amazing. Hey, thanks, man.
Cool.
Always a lot of fun with you.
Hey, I'm enjoying
Amazing. Listen to that. Boom, right there, baby.
All right.
Waking up the neighbors.